Thank you very much, friend, and good morning to all of you. I think now the sessions got merged in some sense, so that is inevitable. First of all, let me convey my thanks to the chairman for allowing me to speak, and then to Mr. MP Narayanan, who is the architect of this whole event, and I am one of those persons who has been participating in the event since its first year. I think it is 9th or 10th year, sir. No, it's that. So it's really grown. And just now I was moving with Ravi to various pavilions, and I could see how much convergence, how much innovations are taking place in various areas, and he has putting them all together under one roof is a great effort. And I must congratulate you, sir, for the kind of sustainable work which you have been doing, and actually bringing all these innovations under one roof. Innovations are very humbling to me in some sense, because once the technology is out, one does not know what kind of use this technology will be put to. And here are some examples where what wonderful use information and communication technology has been put to. How do I start? Yeah. How do we? Yeah. What I'm going to talk to you today is basically the Aadhaar-based financial inclusion. I'll talk about Aadhaar, the unique ID number to begin with, and then I'll talk as to how this particular thing can be used to enable financial inclusion. I'm not an expert on financial inclusion. I'm not an expert even on the other parts of technology, but nevertheless, I feel that here is an infrastructure which we are creating, which can be leveraged to really deliver a lot of good things. So this is broadly what I'm going to talk about in the next 15 to 20 minutes, and what is the context of the unique ID. Just to give you, I'm sure you had a session about unique ID yesterday, and many of the things must have been talked about. Just recapitulate them, and the extent of financial exclusion, so to say, not inclusion or exclusion, whichever way you look at it, how we can contribute in actually financial inclusion from our perspective. So broadly, there are three drivers of the unique ID project. One is there are a large number of people who do not have any kind of identity in this country. They do not have birth certificates, they do not have education certificates, they are literate, do not have any other form of identity. So one is to include those people and provide identity to those. Second is there are many databases in our country where there are duplicates and fakes. In a PDS ration card system, there are states where the total number of units actually exceed the population of the state. So there are these kinds of anomalies, and obviously they are there because there is an incentive to get your entry in multiple number of times in those databases. So this is one, and once we are able to somehow clean up these databases, we'll certainly be improving targeting and improve the efficiency of the delivery systems. So this is basically our mandate is provide unique ID to every resident in this country. Just unique is an overarching concern, because if there should be systems where one should not be able to have more than one identity. This is one of our mandate. Then second mandate is to actually create an infrastructure for authenticating these identities in a ubiquitous manner, which means create a facility whereby one could prove that he is one who he claims to be. This is another part. Third part which we have been mandated is to promote this kind of ID and the authentication infrastructure which we are creating, a horizontal kind of infrastructure, promote more and more applications to use this infrastructure. So these are broadly the three mandates which we have, and of course inclusion of those who do not have ID is one thing which I talked about. That is also one of the explicit mandates which we have. Now these are broadly the features of the unique IDs which we propose to create. One is we are not giving any card. We believe there are too many cards already in the system, and obviously these cards can embed our number. We will, however, give a letter to every resident. Secondly, we are not giving any structured number. This is a random 12-digit number. So it does not have any intelligence whatsoever. We are not collecting anything anything more which is required for the purpose of determination of identity. Because we are not into delivery of benefits business. We are just into identity business. We just want to say X is X, that's all. So we are not collecting any profiling attributes about a person. No religion, no caste, no place of birth. Essentially, we are collecting name, his father's name, gender, age, and address. That's all. So this is one. We are collecting this for all residents, including children. We are, we are collecting it through our partners, which are registrars, the state governments, the banks, the LICs, and therefore they have the flexibility to collect more data than what we require, because they are in the application business, and therefore they would like to know, for example, a PDS would like to know whether a person is a BPL or not. We are not concerned about that. So therefore we have the flexibility to our partners to collect more data. We do not keep any transaction records except authentication records. And that also, we will be sort of deleting them after a particular period of time, maybe 6 months or whatever window that is kept. Now, we are giving this caveat saying that, look, we are giving numbers to all the residents. There is no guarantee for entitlements, citizenship, right, or any other things. So, as such, the Aadhaar number does not give any guarantee. However, it is an enabler, because we believe that determination of identity is a common problem in all applications. And once you have resolved this particular part of the problem, to that extent, every problem has been reduced to that level. Therefore, we will provide this horizontal service to all applications. Therefore, this is a facility, this is a number which will enable access to services rather than providing the services itself. Then, of course, we are ensuring uniqueness through biometrics. 1.2 billion unique IDs is certainly a non-trivial issue. And what we are doing is, we are collecting all 10 fingerprints, we are collecting both irises, and therefore ensuring uniqueness. So whichever window you come through, you will not be able to get more than one number. We are obviously creating a de novo database, because existing databases, if you just take and make them as a part of your database, all the contamination or all the problems of those databases will remain. And therefore what we are doing, the way we are doing is that whenever a new attribute, biometric set of attribute for an individual comes, we are going to match it with every other sort of data which we have in our database. Only when it doesn't match, we are going to insert in that database, otherwise we'll reject it. So therefore, at all times, we'll maintain the uniqueness and consistency of this database. Now, authentication I talked about, we are facilitating that any person through the mobile phones will be able to authenticate himself or herself. And if the mobile phone also has a fingerprint reader, he will be biometrically able to authenticate, which means that he will be able to conclusively prove that he is the person who he claims to be. He will answer yes or no. You give your UID number 1234, you put your fingerprint, you say my name is R.S. Sharma, we will come back and say yes or no. So this is the kind of infrastructure which we are putting in place, and we think this is a very valuable aid to all the other applications which can be developed. Now, security and privacy of information, we are not allowing downloading of any data from our data center, and therefore we are ensuring that the information which the resident has provided to us is going to be safe and secure in our database. Now, benefits obviously reduces leakages, provides identities, and breaks silos. This is important because there are many databases at the state, and they are not able to talk to each other because there is no common identifier in these databases. This will break those silos, and obviously that will give a lot of value, because there are people who are taking multiple benefits. They are taking weaver's benefit also, they are taking fisherman's benefit also. Now, once you combine these two databases, then it will you'll find out as how many people should. In fact, the new BPL survey which is being done is essentially a dynamic list which is being done on the basis of exclusions. If a person has a motorcycle, he should not exist there. Suppose you have the databases of all those things, you will be able to figure out as to whether a person should go into the BPL list or not. So these are, financial inclusion is a little bit I'll talk about. Then of course, mobility. The number provides a mobile identity to every resident, which means that wherever you have been registered doesn't make a difference. Wherever you are, you will be able to prove your identity. So therefore, identity goes with you. And therefore, if our benefit delivery systems are also re-engineered to take mobility into account, you will be able to get those benefits anywhere in the country.